Unplug the.
Well, you're gonna be on YouTube.
YouTube famous.
Go ahead, Mayor.
Good evening, everyone. Want to call the Montrose Park Recreation Commission meeting, regular meeting scheduled for today at 6:30. Call to order. Toby?
Here.
Kayla?
Here.
Eddie?
Here.
Michelle? And Nicole, but I think we have somebody in her place, right? Okay.
You spell the last
Next
part of your
item,
name?
number 3, approval of the meeting agenda. Everybody had time to review that? Somebody would like to make a motion on that?
Anybody have changes for anything?
Yeah, I'm seeing what,
I would like
the
to
bylaws are in there, okay.
maybe bring to the council to see, because in our bylaws it says we're supposed to have 5 people to keep going until we get the 5th person, so we don't lose what we've already started doing.
Yeah, I will ask them on
Monday.
Monday. Ask them and see what their direction is. But does anybody have any ideas or have anybody has interest?
I posted on our city page, I posted on our social media page again. Looks like lots of people, not lots, but several people shared it on Facebook, so, I mean, that's the only thing I've done at this point.
So could we make a motion? How would we?
I'll make it part of when I get in front of the city council, I'll just say, hey, now I understand that Michelle won a seat on the city council, I would assume by 1 January, and we'll be one less commissioner. Can we still conduct our business as usual? We'll just ask them.
Do any of you guys know Kim Neska?
I'm sorry?
Kim Neska?
No.
She reached out to me, so
No.
if you guys do know her, whatever, reach out and try to see what she said. I think she was
Okay.
gonna talk to her husband tonight about it.
No, I don't know her. I don't
We'd
know
also
her.
talked about Andrew Rasmussen was on the ballot for
Yeah.
city council. We thought about reaching out to him to see if he would want to join, since it seems like he wants to be,
Right,
you know,
they're
part of
already
it, maybe
involved.
that's something,
Yep.
that might be
I think
something,
that's a
so.
Way to get your feet wet.
Yeah, we can reach out to him as well.
And maybe, I would maybe reach out to Tammy.
Definitely, she seemed like she would be willing to help.
Does anybody know any of these people and they can reach out?
Personally, yeah, anybody? I don't know either,
I don't
any
know
of
none of
those
them.
three.
If you send me
Andrew.
some names and some phone number, I'll have it
I
on calls.
I know Andrew, but I personally don't know Tammy.
Okay, so if you want to
I
send
mean,
more,
I'd be
Kim.
willing, I can try to reach out, I don't have any way to contact them other than Facebook, but.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
if you send me the list and then I'll disperse
Yeah,
out.
yeah, sounds
How's
good.
that sound?
that sounds great.
Okay?
Well,
Okay,
I
so we wanna-
saw also that we have
So
the
send
email
Dwayne,
address sent out, so.
Yes, I did share the email address on social media too. I don't know how often you guys check that. I've checked it a few times, there's nothing there.
Okay.
But so maybe what we'll do is we should do it once a week probably,
Right.
if not sooner, but maybe before every meeting, I'll just make a mental note to be
Okay.
checking it in case
Okay.
there's something that we need to talk about, but there wasn't anything, so just kind of a heads up.
Would we have to, in our bylaws, and change it from 5 to 7 to 4 to 7 at all? Or
No, I think we'll do it, we'll take our
We don't wanna
direction from
end
city
up-
council, because what they'll do is they'll ask the city attorney and the people within the city itself.
Because that means, it would probably mean you couldn't vote on it unless there's a tie, being president, right? Is that all, something like that?
Correct.
That's how that works, right?
Yeah.
so we're just asking them to temporarily allow
Yeah,
us to operate with
yeah.
4
A
and
little
If
grace
you
period.
need to,
Yeah,
if we
if
get
we
to
need
that
to.
point.
Right.
Yeah, if we get to that point, hopefully we won't have to do that,
No,
so.
hope not, but.
All right, so
I mean, how old is she?
there's our mentor we've been looking
Here
for,
we
right there. All right, so we need a motion to approve the meeting agenda.
I motion to approve the meeting agenda.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Old business, Halloween decorating.
Aye.
Got 3 more eyes, guys.
Yes.
Are we
You
doing
guys are slow
PowerPoint,
tonight.
is that what we're doing for the judging?
Yeah.
So we're
Well,
probably.
normally you ask us and.
Well, you see, you can look at the,
Old business, Halloween decorating, judging. I'll tell you what, it's amazing driving through the neighborhoods and seeing what we saw. I mean, oh man, I was just
And
amazed.
they were even more,
extravagant?
Like
from
better
my
in person.
understanding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when on Halloween, and the actual Halloween, when everybody had their,
I
like
saw
even,
some
do we,
pictures of videos.
I
of
suppose we
people
didn't get those
posting on
pictures
social
to
media
get out,
about
huh?
some of that
I have a
boat down there.
PowerPoint and we can look at them.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Good thing I didn't break that then.
One thing
Thank you for not breaking.
One thing I'd like to suggest to the city council though would be, once we pick a winner out of here, I think in past years, the Park and Rec's just gone to the residents and just handed them something or,
Last year, the winner came down here and we
City
presented.
Hall?
They came down to City Hall and Kirby presented it to them.
okay. I'd like to talk to city council and see if we could get that presented at the city council meeting.
Sure,
I think
yeah.
that'd be good for,
Yeah.
good PR for the Park and Rec and also good PR for the, it gets exposure for the city council and the Park and Rec.
Yeah, and it's
Any-
fun.
Any ideas on that? You
Right,
okay
we
with
do some
that?
pictures and.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we
That-
previously discussed and
And then maybe, you know, we can, when we present the award, we all could be there.
Mhm.
I'd like to see
As a
that.
group, yeah, as many of us will get there.
I want to thank everyone that went out and took pictures though. I mean, it was just amazing. I'm glad that Kayla did her side and Michelle did her side and us three amigos did our side. We went down Rosa, I haven't even been down.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you don't even realize how many streets there are in the city. I remember we've done it just for fun, like we
Right.
just driven around and look at the lights and
Right.
Christmas lights and stuff too, and I'm like, holy cow, there's a
Right,
lot more
right, right.
roads over here than
But I
you think.
saw some of the pictures. Anyway, they look great. So just want to thank everybody for making that successful. And then can we look at the PowerPoint on this?
Mhm.
All right, Molly, we should move.
Anybody have any questions on that or have any comments before we?
No, it was
Pictures?
very successful.
We're gonna
It
come
was,
sit here.
I wish it had been as successful as people coming to my house and they wouldn't have bought so much candy. None of my neighbors, well, one of my neighbors came to my house and was handing out candy, but other than that, I didn't see anybody.
Yeah, it's right there. I'm probably gonna sit here so I can remember. No, I'm
You
sit
gonna-
over here. We have the lights.
Well, I'm afraid I'm gonna trip. I move back up.
Eddie unplugged it, I'm telling you.
I did.
Oh, it won't be
trip.
too dark, you got the light from outside.
Yeah, but she's gotta read a password.
I'm not that old.
She's working.
Yeah, I'm like, actually I need bifocals.
I did just get her progressive lenses yesterday.
That's an idea, yeah, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it's a lot to get used to.
Yeah.
I'm happy I did, I can read all this stuff now, but I won't be wearing them at softball, I can tell you that.
We should be good, Kayla.
Okay,
The regular ones for that.
how many are there approximately? Do we know?
I
Do we
had
know?
29.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot.
We did 20.
No, I had 29.
Did you guys get a
I had
chance to look at them
29
all?
I
locations.
didn't.
No?
I should have, I
Okay.
forgot
So
about
I
it.
probably had about 40
So you just said that now, now I
Really?
remember.
There's
doing
not that
it.
many,
Sent
huh?
it.
Oh, yeah, it was,
Well, some of the ones you guys made me take pictures of was ridiculous. Just saying.
cause, well, they weren't, the lights weren't on, but
Probably.
still had to do it.
This is
Right,
nice.
we did.
Lights, camera, action. I gotta move over here.
You wanna sit here, Kayla, and do you wanna do this part by
Sure,
her?
what do I have to do, just click?
If you just, I have it up here, so if you just keep
Click
clicking
next?
on there, yep,
Okay.
that'll just
Easy
rotate
enough, I can do
over.
that.
Does it say how many photos in there for each address, or is the address under?
I have them, like, if they're at the same address, like, you'll see, like, the address, and then if there's, I think there's a couple houses where there's like 3 or 4, maybe 6 pictures.
Yeah.
So you'll
Okay.
see that, I have them kind of laid out like that.
Okay,
Awesome.
alright.
That's not touching.
Not that.
Oh.
What does the city, what does the
There's a
city
space.
give out to the winner? What do they give it out in?
They get an award.
Space bar on that.
They get an award, so we have a little, we have a company in Buffalo that engraves
Okay,
like an award, and then, your
There's a
name
plaque
gets
right
put up
there.
on the plaque up here that you were awarded for
awesome,
that year.
okay.
So, how should we do this? 1, 2, 3? Everybody rank them 1, 2, 3 if they want to? I don't have a pen on me.
I mean, I can make it
I
more.
realized it.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Who wants to write it?
Well, I mean, you can just
Oh, you want
write,
us
you can
to
just
do
write
our
down
own?
your own top 3 and then we should be
Okay.
able to figure out a consensus out of that, I would think.
Okay. This is close, but not the same house.
Yeah, no, it's close, but not the same
We
house.
got a couple little things out there. We'll know which ones are,
Yeah, these-
where's that? 8?
823 Emerson.
Is that a bunch of stuff like skeletons out in the front?
That's the one, is that the one where we stopped at?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, there's 5 or 6 photos of the one.
Well, technically we did
Well, we did
stop
stop, yes.
Alright, well,
The one that we walked through was,
Yeah, that's the I think that's one of the first ones we took.
Well,
You guys
Outside
even
of,
got out and walked it. Ooh, well, they must
Oh,
have had
yeah.
something pretty amazing.
I know Toby drove a hard bargain there.
you guys are ridiculous.
That one doesn't look too bad. That's got
Is that,
stuff on it.
It's 807 Steamboat.
I can see that the one coming up is.
Thanks, so.
Thanks for
Just
that
in case you're wondering.
It's Captain
clarification.
Obvious.
All right, this is the,
pirate
That's
ship?
the boat.
what was the one with?
Sharknado?
Sharknado, yeah.
Yeah, that was, yep,
Is that the same house?
yep,
Yes.
same house.
Oh, that's pretty creative. I like the
My
Sharknado.
kids
I
brought
wish
that
I
one
would've
up.
went and seen
Oh, that thing was
one.
just amazing.
I wish I would've gone and seen it the night of like.
I was
Halloween.
waiting for Johnny Depp to walk out, you know?
Yeah, my kids.
I
brought
saw
that
a
one
video
up
on
'cause their
social
bus goes
media
by
of
it.
a bunch of kids out there the night of
They were like,
Halloween.
who won? Was it Sharknado? I was like, I don't know yet.
that
That's
was
cute.
pretty
Look at
cool.
the Sharknado.
Yeah, it's really neat when people put that much effort into it.
I know last year they were top 3.
I was gonna say, do we know if some of these are the ones that won last year? All right, so we know we
They
looked
didn't
at
win, but they
one.
were top 3.
Doesn't matter.
No.
513. I think I remember
It's just,
seeing this.
it's just
one.
2 different angles of the same.
Yep. Oh yeah, this is.
But you know, you turn your flash on one?
No.
It's hard to, it was hard to get good
Yeah.
pictures, man. I struggled.
Well,
with
and I
that,
wanted
too.
to go as close as possible without, and get as much as possible without really
A
going.
couple of people were looking out the windows like,
Who's
the
in my
heck?
house?
yeah, who, yeah.
Right.
Did you get that? A couple of people we actually introduced ourselves.
Oh, well, we're being careful, I guess.
Yeah, there
Oh,
was,
this- I think I remember seeing this going up.
oh yeah, that's kinda cool. Amityville
Yeah, I remember that one.
Sanitarium.
That looks like Christmas.
Yeah. Well, some people made me get out and take pictures.
That was down by me. That was down by me. I mean,
Yeah, maybe.
He goes, that was me, I made sure.
Oh,
Well,
this
great,
is-
Conway.
yeah, crack the whip.
Come on,
He
Tony.
was like,
I said, you gotta get out,
Get out,
get
picture
out.
going.
I said, yeah, get out, picture boy. Actually, I went down around the block and I said, he said, let's pretend we just left them.
So this one
Oh,
must
this
have
is-
a bunch.
I think this has like 5 or 6
6.
maybe.
They have a
Yeah.
lot.
That's the one I think you went up and
These are the
walked.
ones we talked to the people. They were doing finishing touches when we walked up. And they knew exactly who we were when we
Yeah,
walked
they were
up.
ready for you,
Oh, yeah.
okay. So maybe that's one of our,
They have the blood. They have the blood in the house this year again.
A what?
They had blood on their house last year.
I don't
Fake blood.
think I saw any,
I know,
but.
it's okay.
That's when you walk through there.
Yeah.
Told
Yeah, I
you-
did.
Yeah,
There's
you
more,
walked through
there's
there.
more photos of this one.
Yeah, you walk through there.
This is all the same place,
we
so.
got a bunch of inflatables and stuff going on this one too. Is that the same, oh yeah,
It's all the
323.
same house, yeah. Their whole front yard was taken up. I think it's a duplex, right?
You really went all out.
No.
Thought this one was a duplex. Okay.
Yeah, that one looks pretty extravagant.
This is near.
This is a
their-
different one.
This is a different house.
So just one, mostly lights and a couple pirates up front.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, pictures don't always.
I
do
know,
everything
it's
justice.
hard. Well, I'm gonna trust the ones that you guys really remember. I mean, there was only one that I had that I thought was like competition level, and it was borderline.
That one's pretty cool.
This, I think I remember seeing this one. Is there a ring neck? Oh, that's over, Michelle maybe took this, huh?
Not this one, hers
No.
are at the end.
Okay.
And I did send her a message that when we voted, hers wouldn't come through well. They
Okay.
kept like compressing, so
Oh,
she ended
yeah.
up having to text them and then it didn't include the address. So I figure once we look at them and we choose, she'll remember the address, or one of you guys might know the address, so we'll
I think,
Well, that's just like, I had an issue.
I think
So I
that's-
ended up putting it on a flash drive.
Yeah, and bringing it in,
I
yeah.
think that's the guy that reached out to us,
That added more lights.
that added more lights and wanted us to come back
Oh,
and retake
really?
it.
I love that.
Oh, I didn't, who do you reach out to?
He reached out on Facebook.
I think I remember seeing
And I
that.
think Michelle ended up going.
Oh,
to
so
take-
maybe we'll see, maybe
Might see
we'll
it
see
again.
more on this one. So that was
You
a
you
possible
gotta admit, that is pretty cool,
contender.
though. You wanted us to
That
come
was
back,
just-
take another
I
picture.
know, that's so neat.
Right, like he was planning, he wanted to be.
Gotta go back one.
Uh-oh,
Go back one.
That is a different house.
that's a different one.
I'm not gonna lie, it's very challenging to get all the right addresses.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Just creeping on people.
No, because I'm taking pictures, Eddie's writing addresses, and then I remember how many photos for each one. You
Right.
did write that down.
I did.
I wasn't
write that down.
stupid. Hey, by the way, did you bring my clipboard?
I figured.
Did you bring-
Did you bring my clipboard?
It's in my house.
That's a good spot for it. Boy, can I use this? I'll bring it back.
What is that? Is that like ghosts? Do You guys
It's
know?
like garbage, yeah, it's like
Garbage bags,
garbage
they look
bag,
like goats
goes.
around
Yeah.
the tree or
There's
something.
like a little.
That's
they
pretty
make it look
magic.
like a fire in the middle.
That's cute. Ooh, they went all out. That's Sam's house. That's the only
Sam's
one that
house.
I saw, the ones that I saw that was really, I know they put up quite a bit of stuff.
And I'm sure
Although other years, I think he's done
he's
better.
done more.
See a
than
lot,
that.
he's a professional hunter though.
He's busy.
He's a professional, like I think we should just take him out of it.
We just
He's
put
had
Sam in
better
the
years.
He
So-
has, I've already said that too.
I'll tell
Sam.
myself.
Do better, Sam.
Yeah, Sam,
Do
you gotta
better.
up your game there.
Well, and from what I remember, I think he normally has a lot more than that.
I miss the dancing people upstairs.
I think we should call the real estate people, let them know that house is for sale.
I told the kids there was a giant skeleton. When we pulled up, they go, "That's not that big, Mom." I was like, so I should have told Sam. He would have
He's
really
gonna
liked that
be
one.
so, he's gonna be so sad.
Yeah, not impressed.
That's pretty good pictures.
Let's see, Brook Circle.
That's cute.
Oh, I think I took this
That's
one.
almost, that's
Lots of
almost like
lights.
They have a
Christmas
lot of
with
nice
Halloween
lights.
colors.
Uh,
That's
Yeah,
what it reminds me of.
there was a bunch of little ghosts and stuff. They put up a lot more later on, but I asked her, I said, send me a new picture if you put up some new lights, because I know her, she was in my neighborhood.
Sure.
She never did. She never responded to me, so I thought, oh, this is what you. Oh, this is one. Oh, that's the same one.
Yeah, that looks like the other one.
It was the, yeah, it was the same one from just a couple pictures before. That was down on Brook. Is that?
A mirror image of the same,
There was two pictures, and so I just,
it looks like it's basically the opposite.
yeah, it might have just.
She's just moved to the left, I
Yep.
think, on this one and
Oh,
angled the camera
yeah.
the other
Is
way.
that
It's
the
hard
one-
to see what's
Is
there.
that the ring neck one?
I was just wondering if
It
maybe
kinda
it
looks like it.
was. But they had theirs on the ground, didn't they? Like the little lines, like it was
Yeah.
outlined on the ground, I think, not hanging like
Yeah, I
that.
don't think Ring Neck has a second story.
I don't know, that address is, it's kinda hard to win.
That, I think,
That's
might be-
ring
that's
neck.
ring neck.
That's ring
What?
neck.
Yeah, you know where the phone going?
Fine, you don't get wrong, that's fine.
Did we have, I wonder if that was 252
That's
ring neck.
252, I
Okay,
Yep.
so that was on, I mean, I have written down. Oh, no idea what this is.
It looked like just a big spider.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks
It's
like.
pretty cool.
I wonder if there's more that's, I wonder if any of these are the same house.
I don't know.
Like, it would make a difference, I think, like if this one and this spider
Right.
were at the same house.
Like, that's a big werewolf and a skeleton.
That's kind of cool.
Where's
That's
that
cool.
at?
I like the big werewolf.
It's hard for me to say it's a winner of any sort.
Yeah, I wish I knew if it was more than that at the same house or if that
That's
was.
pretty awesome.
That was it. That's creepy looking though. I like that. Oh, that's it.
That's it.
That was 32.
So really not too bad.
No, I think we can,
Alright.
I'm trying to go back to the,
Would you break it down?
did I write what? 7, 2, 3. I just wrote the house numbers, I didn't even write.
You what, 5?
3, 2,
I
3.
have 5.
You have
I
5?
only did 4.
Alright, okay, apparently I don't know where we're at. 3, 2, 3 I had. Mindy, that must be Mindy. That's one you guys had a ton of pictures of.
Yeah, there was like 6 for 3.
Yeah, and then 2, 5,
2 ring neck.
why can't I find it? 2, 5, 2 ring neck.
We think that's some of the other picture.
Yep,
was
that
the
Yep.
would've been
picture.
something.
That one and one of Michelle's. Yeah,
So I
that's the
had, on my list, I had that one, Mindy Lane, which was this one and I think the one before it.
Mm-hmm.
We got a ring.
And then, yeah. What
Well,
about, which ones did you guys have?
if we all got similar
7,
ones,
2,
Right.
3.
we'll put those in our and that we can legitimately vote on and go back and look at again to see.
So, and Sharknado and the boat.
So,
And
yeah.
three
one. What
that
are
I
your
have.
top 3, Eddie?
Well, I have 5 in.
Did you
What are your
put
top
the
3?
numbers?
Right,
You hit the lights?
Yeah,
Are
let's
you
get
guys
ready.
ready? Yep, done with this?
I think we probably know. I mean, we can turn back up.
Jeez.
My top 3 would probably 723, 7
That's
Sweet
Sharknado.
North is my number 1. Number 2, 323 Mindy Lane, and then 3 is 611 Fairmont.
611 Fairmont.
Let's look at that one.
What about you, Toby? What are your top three?
Oh, that was the sanitarium, the Amityville Sanitarium,
Oh.
Fairmont.
All right, so I had the 323 Mindy Lane first.
That's one with all the pictures, yep.
Sharknado on 7th Street, 723 7th Street second. And 252 Ring Neck was third.
Okay.
Mine was almost the same, so I switched the first two.
Yep.
What about you doing?
Perfectly fine, too.
I had, 723, number 1, 323 Mindy Lane, number 2, and then I had 2 number 3s, 611 Fairmont and 312 Mindy Lane.
Okay. I think we almost all have the first two. We all have the first two as 723 7th Street and 323 Mindy Lane.
Kayla, your top
Yes.
is 323?
723.
723.
The Sharknado and the boat.
Okay, and then.
Especially because I saw that video of all those kids like crowding around that boat.
So we have 3 as a top.
Well, so I would say, because 3 people have the Sharknado number 1.
Mhm.
So I'd say that's number 1.
Okay.
And then.
Do we vote more than top?
I think we just.
Three.
We could
Second
put
place?
the top three up
Yeah,
on social
I would say
media.
put the top three up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
100% put the
So
top.
I would say 723 7th Street, that's Sharknado is number 1.
And we all had 323 Mindy Lane.
Yep.
In either
I think
first or
that should be
second.
second.
So that's second.
Okay,
Now, third place is where we all have differences.
Yeah, I don't, and I had 252 Ring Neck.
I would say it's gonna
What other
be
one did you-
611 and 252.
Yeah,
See, I
611
bring
is the
that as my
sanitarium.
4th.
I did have, no, I did not have that, any of those. I had the fair, 611 and 312 as number 3.
611 Fairmont and,
When we have to identify top 3 that we were looking at? That's what we
Yeah,
did in
we're
the
just,
past?
we're just looking for the third place now. You guys already have first and second chosen.
Eddie, you had 611 for your third. Dwayne, you had 611 for your third.
Yep.
And I think both of us had Ring Neck
You
first.
guys both
And
have.
so do you want to look at them again? Bring up 611 and
alright, so
252.
611 is the sanitarium, oh, you guys can't see it at all.
Which I remember.
That
Here,
was pretty
here, hit the
cool.
lights one more
That
time.
was cool.
That was
Yeah, I mean,
pretty
and it might be, you know, more extravagant in person.
It was.
It doesn't look like a lot from
cool.
here.
No, but you had to walk through there, it's almost like you walk through like a graveyard with that entrance there type of deal.
Yep,
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I think I remember seeing them set that up. Okay, is Dad here?
And then
There is a car out there, honey.
Alright, love you, honey, bye.
pull up
And-
Ring Neck 252.
252 Ring
I
Neck
don't remember why I picked
is,
the third, but maybe. No, I think it was more just
mm,
how much they had. If it's between those
more
two, I
creative on
would
611.
go with 611.
Anybody
Okay.
have 312 at all?
312 Mindy, is that what you said?
That was my 5th choice.
312 Mindy.
That reminds
Yeah, I
me.
don't remember.
It reminds me of the other
I mean, I
one.
didn't see this.
Okay.
one. I think
As far as
that
lights.
that one, like you said, you had to walk through it and there was more kind of
Yeah,
ones you
all
went
right.
through there. I
So,
agree with that.
I'd go with the ones that the one you guys have for third.
611.
611 for number 3?
611, what was
Okay.
it, Fairmont?
Fairmont.
Fairmont.
Yep.
I did have Ring Neck, but it was my fourth one.
So what does second and third place get?
We'll
Acknowledgement.
recognize, yeah, we'll recognize them on social media and things like that. And we can even say something at the city council meeting
Okay.
that they did that. Because I think it's nice to call people out because
Yeah.
it makes them want to do it next year.
Right,
It's
right.
appreciated. It's fun.
Especially you come in second, you're like, oh, I was close.
Yeah.
I think it'd be, I don't know if we could, but just invite all 3 and then, you know, and then,
What were you gonna say?
and let them do a teaser on it and just
Yeah.
say, this is what the final decision was made.
That way they all get
When I
acknowledged.
know it's
Right.
runner
They all
up
get-
first,
yeah.
third runner up,
You
second
agree with
runner up, runner up, and,
Are you okay with that,
yeah.
peeps? Invite all 3? Don't announce the winner until, the city council.
Could be riding.
Just say, hey, you were identified top 3.
Right, they won't know yet.
Right.
I'm fine with
Good with
that.
that?
Absolutely. It's gonna
Hopefully
take,
the
gonna
winner
take away
shows up
some
and
of
not
your
just the
talking
second,
time,
third place.
Oh, shucks, I'll go strong arm. Fucking go for
Take
it.
a deep breath.
Christie says,
How do we
says,
want to invite them?
Wrap it
yeah,
up.
Christie says, Dwayne, it's quiet in here when you walk in.
When,
Just to highlight.
How would you invite them? Mail
How do you want to
something, or-
invite them? Yeah, how will we invite them?
We could call them.
yeah.
Yep, so if somebody one of you guys wanted to call them and just say, you know, you were one of the top 3.
How do we find out who they are?
I can, why don't I call them since I'm not sharing their information.
Yes.
There you
I'll grab
go.
it.
I was gonna say, I don't think it'd be
And are
shared.
we
Yeah,
talking
no.
about the December city council meeting then?
You can ask them on Monday and then we'll present it, in December.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
It's okay.
And that gives them enough warning that they can be
Yeah.
there.
Or just
so
say,
they-
hey, this is what we propose, and, you know, what are your thoughts? And,
Yeah,
you
see
know,
if
we'd
they're
like to get
okay
your
with it.
blessing on this. Just trying to steer the, you know, just trying to change it up a little bit.
Mhm.
So realistically, could we do, since, I don't know, that's kind of coming up in new business, we could get a $20 gift card for the winter or something, too, or? Since we got it in, I don't know what our budget looks like, and I don't know
Oh,
how
we
much
got
more
that.
money we're gonna,
Yeah.
There's
I
money
mean-
to do that.
how much money we're gonna.
I don't know if that's something we normally can do or,
I think we can do whatever you guys
Tell
want.
us.
I have a gift card that's sitting in the Park and Rec book that somebody donated like 3 years ago to Park and Rec. It's just been sitting in there. So I checked the other day to see if there was money on it, and there is. I think it's either $50
Oh,
or
wow.
$75. So we did a little contest in the newsletter this time. We were gonna use some of that money to give away for that. I could just split that into 3 and get an extra gift card for the first place winner, if you guys wanna do that. It'll come off of that.
oh, you just turn that in or, and then
Deal
just
is, we
get
only
a
have 60
small.
days to burn up what we got, or it goes back, so we might as well see if we can try to do something with the other winners.
Right.
Well, maybe we revisit that when we get down here to the financial report.
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
it doesn't have
Let's look
that,
at what we
yeah.
have and then
That's fine.
figure out,
Yeah, that's fine.
make a decision on.
Okay.
And you know, even that money, Dwayne, that's sitting there, like in December, you guys can decide like if there's something you wanna do for the Easter egg hunt,
We can,
buy it early,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
do something with that so that
Yeah.
you're not
Mhm.
losing it.
Yeah.
Or buy
Definitely
the
do
gift
that.
card for the Christmas, decoration contest.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good.
yeah, we can
Yeah,
buy a
yeah,
couple
for sure,
for the Halloween.
for sure.
and
Cause
Christmas.
how much should we split? 500 on the Easter egg? How much was it?
On the Easter egg hunt,
Yeah,
on the eggs,
yeah.
ugh.
Cause we have to buy,
1,500?
we have to buy new eggs, don't we?
Yeah, we already bought them.
Okay.
I bought them last year after Easter, I
Got
figured
it.
they'd be a little cheaper.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay, perfect.
80% off.
Okay, the next item is Park and Trail Plan.
I think it's just us, make sure we visit those other parks before the
Yeah,
next
I
meeting.
did visit, when I was voted, I did stop at the Veterans Park, I think that's the one.
Right behind there, yeah, by the
Yeah,
fire
That needs
station.
help.
yeah, and what I saw was a couple things I wrote down that I remember is that both those shelters really need a lot of help.
They could use new benches and picnic tables
Right,
too.
and then the swing set that's there, I mean, it's adequate, but, you know, for being a central park like it is there, it's just ain't got enough oomph, number one, and number two, there's not enough playground equipment there for youngins. I mean, all they got is a couple of sit-down steam shovel things, and that whole thing needs to be revamped. And
What did you think about taking that old swing set out and using one of the new
That's what I
Lions
was
swing
thinking,
sets for the?
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, we just, because we got December meeting, we were discussing the last 2 parks anyway, but that's just what I saw.
Mhm.
These are the last ones, I thought. Lions Park, Northridge, Rockbrook, and Pheasant were the last ones we
Was
had.
it? Okay,
I thought.
Yeah, I think
Those are the last
one.
4.
yeah, that's four. I just, like I said, I just stopped and saw the
That were
one.
supposed to be
I was there.
discussed tonight.
You're talking, you said vets, but you're talking about
I think they were for
Lions.
December.
Yes, the
You-
Lions
yeah,
Park.
you're talking about Lions.
Lions
You're
Park,
talking about
Lions
Lions
Park,
Be
sorry.
doing them before December.
Oh, was it for December? I thought it
Yeah,
was
December
here. It's a
second.
park
I think it was
trip.
part of
No,
December meeting.
no. It's just that,
I haven't been to all
for
of
a
them.
park that's in behind the city, you know, close to City Hall and next to community center, it's just like it needs work. It
I
needs
guess I'm
help.
jumping the gun, sorry.
It needs the help.
Well, and I think we should always, I mean, I don't know how it really panned out, but I know in Forest Creek, we ended up getting that stuff donated
Mhm.
from Delano because they tore it out. So, I mean, I can find out, I think it was someone in our neighborhood that
He
used
works
to
there.
work there. I think he used to work there, I don't think he does anymore.
Mhm.
Okay.
But I might reach out and find out if there's any other way that we can, you know, develop a relationship with them, that if they're tearing something out because they want to put in something new they're trying out, because they were gonna throw it away.
Yeah.
And they gave it to us, they donated it, so.
And I think we talked to Lions about, the only issue with that last time at Forest Creek was the installation,
Mhm.
was a lot of work.
Yep.
So I thought even with Lions, talked about like donating some money to help with the installation,
installation.
so that we could do it faster, because I know it took
I
a long
remember,
time
it.
to-
well, I saw them out there.
Because
It
the
was-
guys kept trying to do it
oh
in
gosh.
between
It
stuff,
was-
so,
it was-
yeah, if we can get, that's a great in,
So
somebody like that.
Yeah,
I also have, my neighbor works at CCC, and she's part of the community engagement team there. And they were talking about possibly reaching out to landscape structures
Yeah.
which is the place, and seeing if they'll give them some design, requirements, and then CCC wanted to manufacture some playground equipment for the
Oh.
city. So it's very, very,
That's very
very
cool.
preliminary,
Yeah, yeah.
but I think that that's something,
Or
you know,
something
as Nikki works at CCC too, to continue down that path with them,
Yeah.
because they want to do more with the city as well.
I want to, Wright County as Park Rec Commission too, and I was gonna see if I could attend one of their meetings and develop some type of report or.
Yeah.
With who's?
Wright County,
Oh, yeah, the county.
That'd be huge.
and just see if, because I met, when I was at, I did the Chamber of Commerce meeting
Yeah,
back a couple months ago, and there was somebody from Wright County then. So I'll reach out to her, maybe get a name and a number,
yeah.
but she seemed real helpful, but.
And sometimes if they don't have anything, right, but in 2 months, they might hear of something,
Right.
and then they'll remember, and they'll reach
Yeah.
out,
Right.
you know, you never know.
Right, right. So at least we got some things on the board and things to pursue.
Yeah.
Type of deal. But please come in December with the rest of those parks, and visit it and hear ideas, what you see on deficiencies or maintenance needs.
All right, so we're going to discuss the last 4 parks. All right.
Next item is, on the agenda is city parks flyer follow-up.
Give me one quick second. This was that flyer that we looked at last time that was very outdated. Christy and I have been discussing this kind of back and forth about what needs to be done. All we have for this from the city is a PDF of exactly what it is right there. So she's gonna see if we can figure out how to update that map to include, we changed the names on a couple parks we had talked about
Yeah, we
last
needed
time.
to add Forest
So we
Creek.
have to make some changes. And then I was gonna sit down and kind of revamp this whole thing. I realized we're gonna need new pictures of some of these.
Mhm.
So we thought that this might be more of a springtime project, so we can get
Okay.
some newer pictures when it's not brown and nasty outside.
Yeah,
And maybe kind of be ready to put that out there as soon as it gets nice in the spring.
okay.
So you don't want it in the middle of winter?
No park.
And we can hand it out to everybody so they can see what the parks might look like someday.
Stocking stuff.
With green grass instead of snow.
I did
All right.
reach out to the news, people that do our newsletter, just to see if they do any kind of brochures type of thing. So if you got great pictures, and you did some of
Yep.
that, I haven't heard back from them, but I will
Okay.
update you as soon as I do.
So we'll kind of keep that on like the back burner.
On the back burner then?
Yeah. So, but I think we already talked about all the changes that we
Right.
need to make to it last time, so.
I want to go back to the park and trail plan, because we have to finalize that, right? I think I promised the city council we would have something ironed out and present to them by January or February meeting.
Yep. I think that's
So
probably
let's
right.
still make sure that,
I think that I have been taking pretty good notes when we've been discussing it. I need to sit down and put all of those together. If I'm missing things, I'll probably just reach out to you guys via email and see if there was anything that I missed about a specific park.
okay.
My plan is my sister's getting married this weekend, and I'll have a little more free time.
Even if we just did something
And write
preliminary.
Yeah, and just, even if it's just the updates.
Yeah, it was a work in progress, we
Yeah.
can say.
We'll definitely, I'll
Okay.
definitely get something written up for us so that we have something to
Okay.
look at in December.
So
At least of the parks that we have done up
the
until.
flyer, we're just probably going to table until
Which one is
March,
the
April, May,
flyer?
somewhere. around
Yeah,
I thought I had it, but I didn't.
there. Okay,
Oh, this flyer?
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, that's the flyer.
yeah. I think that, I mean, once it warms up and we get back in there, the ones close right here, we can all maybe do something like that at one of our meetings, take pictures and
Yeah.
do an outside
Good
meeting
idea.
when it's warm out or
Yeah.
something.
yeah. And some of them, I don't know if we need new pictures of all of them. There were just some that had new equipment or,
Right.
like Forest Creek that was missing completely. I think we had decided
Right.
to change the name on the
Yeah.
thing
Right.
of the disc golf park.
right.
Just a couple of things that needed.
And just some of the colors in that brochure too are just so
Yeah, it's a little
updated.
wonky.
Yeah,
Right.
Okay, next topic.
okay.
Park and Rec Commission bylaws.
I just wanted to find out if you heard anything from them or if we decided not
Okay,
to,
so-
not to bother with it,
so-
or, I'm just curious if I'm not.
Just-
Yeah, you boys were busy at the last
Yes,
meeting.
an update from the last meeting.
Yeah.
I made a motion to accept the bylaws as they stand.
Okay.
Current bylaws.
And the only thing that we were questioning was whether somebody from outside city limits, right? That was the only
Correct.
reason that we were.
And so the
voting on it.
discussion, we did have a discussion, we can have it again, that's
Oh,
perfectly
that's
fine,
fine.
because you weren't there, and that's
Right.
fine.
I think we should revisit it.
Yeah, we
That's only
should,
fair.
we should. It's only fair, and I have no problem with that. And it was brought up last minute at the last meeting. So I made the motion that we accept the bylaws as they are. The reasoning behind that is, A, the bylaws were just made 6 months ago.
Right.
Okay, so, and I don't have a problem with looking at all of them.
We looked at all the rest of it, it was just that
So
one thing that we were
the
questioning.
one thing we were questioning, and the reason I brought it up and made the motion I made, is because I strongly believe that if I was to go to any other town without having an address and where I pay taxes in their town, they're not gonna let me be on one of their boards. As far as input, I have no problem with input from people that live just outside of town or any other town for that matter. But on the Park and Rec board, I don't think it should be people that are not fiscally
I really
involved.
didn't have one
I just-
belief one way or another strongly, so.
Basically, the people that live in Montrose pay property taxes to support the park system.
That's true. That's a good
So the people that should have to say how that is being spent is the people that live, actually live in
Right,
the town.
that are paying into it, right?
Correct, correct. And I think that's what the city council's intent was.
Okay,
I'd reached out to Kirby because I know at the last meeting, Dwayne said I really didn't want to go to it, but I asked him why that was, and he said the council made that decision for exactly the same reason
That
these
you
guys
guys are talking
have
about, yeah.
stated.
for the tax,
Why
you pay the
should,
taxes.
if
and-
somebody that's not paying a tax or paying for the equipment have a say in it?
Right, being here making decisions about how it's spent.
Yes.
That's okay.
I'd like to say something about that.
Okay.
When they shut down Park and Rec, why did they shut it down? What was their reason? Do you guys know?
I don't actually.
I have no idea.
I have a pretty good idea why they shut it down.
I mean,
All I know is that everything is just hearsay, so I
Well,
Well,
can't
it's
repeat
on,
it.
it's on
I've watched the
video.
YouTube video.
And there's a video for Park and Rec where Jessica says to Ashlyn, Katie, and Sylvia, when they're asking about, how do we do the park and trail plan, Jessica says they want a PowerPoint, which is exactly what you guys are currently doing. You're going out to the parks and you are taking information like, does this need to be fixed? Should this change? It's exactly what you're doing. And that is what Ashlyn and Katie did. Sylvia did not tour the parks, to my knowledge, but Ashlyn and Katie did. It got delayed a little bit, but they were also at that time asking council for help, and not one council member helped them. The night that they disbanded Park and Rec, Ashlyn was giving her PowerPoint. Tom did not believe that he had asked for a PowerPoint and he wanted more, but yet he wasn't telling them he wasn't helping them do what they should have been doing, and they were doing what they were asked, giving a PowerPoint like you guys are now. That same night, they were supposed to vote on a new member for Park and Rec, which would be me. And I live outside city limits, but the city surrounds my house. Regional Park is my backyard, it's my side yard. I know that park. And since I moved to town in 2013, Park and Rec had actually been asking me to be part of Park and Rec because I know that land. I have kids, I go to the parks in town. Yes, I do not believe that I should be able to spend any city money because I don't pay the taxes here. But I have more input than anybody that's been on here for that park. The city has a grudge with me. They put the park in, they didn't secure my land. My land is moving continuously. There was supposed to be a retaining wall behind.
I don't think we should
My
get into
God.
all that. I think that's off topic.
No, it's not, because they have a grudge against me. I
Well,
am not the one
Hey,
that is
so-
causing the city to spend money. It's the city not coming out when we said the land was moving. Public Works refused to come out and look at it. When I said you need to stain the fence, which we have a contract with them on, Public Works and the city council three of who are still
Okay.
on city
So,
council
April, I have to ask,
voted not to stay in the fence, and now I'm sitting
I
at
have
the
to
fence
ask you
that's
to,
rotting.
I have to ask
So
you to
it
cease,
was
I have to
to-
ask you to cease, please. On that particular situation, you have to address with the city council. That's
I
not,
have.
it's not a park and rec commission.
No, it's not, but if you are making decisions on the rules, you should know why they changed. That's the only rule they changed, Wayne. The only rule they changed was that you had to be a tax-paying citizen.
Right. So
And
if you-
Eddie said
so
the
if
other
you-
day that I've never applied, I have applied,
Right,
but I have to apply to the city, not to Park and Rec.
right, because we all.
So I'm just setting the record
Right,
straight.
okay, and I thank you for that. On your personal situation, you have to address with the city, number
Yeah.
one. Number two, I don't know if you live in the city or don't live in the city, but if you live in the city, you're more than welcome to apply for the Park and Rec Commission, according to the way the bylaws are written.
No,
I would, and then I also, we appreciate your knowledge of the regional park area out there. You probably, like you said, it surrounds your area, so we appreciate that.
Of course.
And when we start growing that area out there, I want to be able to reach out to you as an asset and get your ideas. I don't want us to have a confrontation. I want us to work together as a team. Okay?
I didn't start out with a confrontation, but I've been waiting for 5 years to access my back of my shed because the city, and you can look on the maps, my driveway that was supposed to be
Right.
put in is on the maps
Right.
that they have drawn
So-
up for the city.
So April, again.
And yes, I will take it up with them.
Yes.
But you
I know
didn't know
exactly what you're-
why it was changed. It was the only rule that was changed, and that's all I'm trying to point out.
Okay,
It
and we
was
thank you,
the only
we thank you for
rule.
your feedback. We thank you for your feedback, and I appreciate you being, attending here, and we appreciate your insight. Okay? As far as personal things going on with the city, that this is not the
That
proper
has-
place to air that out.
I wasn't airing that out. I am explaining why
Okay.
there
And I appreciate
is
it.
issues.
Right, it's a matter of record now, and it's being videotaped, so again, we appreciate that.
Do you realize how many people in township you are leaving out that are willing to
We're not
volunteer and
leaving them
help?
out though, I'm asking for their input, all we are saying is
Yeah.
they cannot be on the board.
Right,
The board doesn't spend the money. The board makes recommendations
Correct.
only to the council. So you're not
the
technically
bylaws
spending the
were
money.
written by the city council. We're
But we
just
are
abiding
spending our Parks and Rec money.
Right, right.
Making
You have to
decisions
get
on how that's
approval.
spent.
You have to get approval in order to spend that money.
Correct,
If you're gonna spend it on a bounce
Yes.
house, you have to get approval
Your
from the city to
situation,
spend that.
you know, your closeness to the parks is not what's normal for other people in the township. I think you're kind of a one-off case where you're next to the
Not true.
park. And it surrounds your property.
That is true.
Yes.
But there have been other board members that have been township. The community meal is cooked by a township member.
so
I
again,
think there's
the by-
arguments in both directions and we just
Right.
have to make a decision that,
Right.
that we think is gonna be
Right.
supported.
the city council is the one that revised the bylaws, and we are just respecting what the bylaws are, what the city council, we take our direction from the city council. That's what they put out. For the bylaws to change, they would have to change them again.
And they take direction
Actually-
from us.
Actually, you
on the
guys
park.
write the bylaws and they approve them.
Correct, but we inherited a new set of bylaws, and and we've reviewed them, and the vote is to accept them as they currently are. So that's what we're gonna move forward with. So, Toby, would you like to continue? Or you got are you,
Can I say something really quick? I just want to make sure, did Michelle ask that we table this until she was
Yes.
here?
Yes, she does wanna talk about it
Okay,
as
so
well.
maybe we
And I
don't
told
vote
her
on it
that,
until she's here.
It's
oh,
already-
it's
but
already, they already
voted.
voted
Okay,
on it.
okay.
We were
But
just,
it
I just
wasn't
wanted
on the
to find
agenda
out.
It does
to be
not-
voted on.
It does
Got it.
not need to be on the agenda to bring something on motion.
That is something that we decided to table when Michelle is here to bring that up with us in December. I discussed with her.
Well,
She
then
said she
this should
wants
be
to.
tabled too, because this was.
I would just, I just
You're
wanted
out of
to know
line to
why.
bring that up. This
No,
is their decision.
I just
make
wanted
that.
to understand why they made the decision they made. I'm not questioning the decision they made, I was just wondering
And I-
how it came to the.
I'm not
yes, I vote
questioning
on.
their decision either, I'm questioning if it was a legal way to.
We're gonna
make a
talk about that when
It is.
Michelle is here to talk about it.
Well,
And
we
it
can
is.
bring it
I
up at
did
the
read
December
through it,
meeting
we can
and
talk
vote
about
one
it.
more time.
Let's do that when Michelle's here, so we don't have to do that whole conversation twice.
So can we vote on it still, and then we can still talk about it?
No.
It's already got
Yeah, you
voted
can
on.
do that.
It's already been voted on,
It's already
we'll
voted. It's
table
done.
it for
It's
discussion.
done. We did it by
I was
Robert's
gonna say it's
rules.
done,
I think
so.
everybody here
we
has
changed it.
discussed what they
Right.
want to discuss. If it needs to be discussed further in December, if we're graced by somebody's presence, then we will.
She'll, that's fine, that's
I do
her.
think that you should vote on it again, and this is
Oh,
why. It's not that you can't bring something up. You can vote on something that wasn't on the agenda that
But it
you
is
added.
now.
You can do that. What you can't do is vote on something when it's in an environment where the community can't be there. And because of unforeseen
Oh,
circumstances
yeah.
last time,
Okay.
the community couldn't be there. So
Why?
because of
Because
where
it
you guys
wasn't-
were,
it
because of
wasn't
how that all
announced.
shook out.
It wasn't
So
announced
I
where
think
we were.
because this is an open forum where people could be here, it's more of an appropriate place to just
Correct.
Okay.
to redo
So
it because,
Okay, so
you know, it
makes sense.
wasn't open to the community last time.
Okay,
That would be my
And
recommendation.
if we have to discuss this further in December, so be it, that's fine. But I will make the motion to accept the bylaws as written.
do we need to add that to the agenda
It's
first?
already here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's already.
All right.
Yeah, it's
All
already.
right, so Toby made a motion to accept the bylaws currently how they are written. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Do we have a vote? Eddie?
I,
Toby?
Aye.
Kayla?
Aye.
I'm gonna vote aye also.
And I don't want to step on anybody's toes, I just think.
No,
that
no,
would
no,
be-
no, no, we didn't think
We
about
gotta
that.
make it right, we gotta make it
You should be able
right.
to be here.
We're, you know, I mean, we're.
That would be a more valid reason.
Well, now we have it.
Right.
It's recorded.
Now
It would be a more valid reason than not being on the agenda, so that is fair.
Yeah,
Right.
and
So we
I,
just, we're a work in progress. I mean, it isn't like we got 2 years underneath our
No.
belt, right?
Right.
that's good, when Michelle brought it to me, that, you know, I kind of said that to her, I said, we don't all know how to run these meetings, it's kind of just, we're kind of thrown
And she
in.
agreed, she said, you know,
Yeah,
I don't
she
think it's
did. She
malicious.
definitely did
I
that.
think, you know, she knew
Yep.
that.
So it's just a learning process for some of us, for most of us.
All right.
All right, the next item was supposed to be community gardens, but,
We had taken that off in the
take
revision,
it,
so
but
we'll.
April, you are here to say something about the community gardens?
Oh, if we can,
Correct. We want to open
Eddie
that up.
and-
hold on, hold on. Can we make a motion to keep this on there? Would that, on the old one has community gardens on here.
oh, I
That
thought
was fees, but we could just, we
But
could,
we can, yeah, we
let's
can,
add it back on, drop off the word fees and then allow you
do we need to
broadcast.
go back to approval of the agenda or anything for that then?
Why don't we make the change and then vote to make the change?
Okay.
Approve it based on that change.
Okay,
Okay, I make a motion to make the change of keeping community gardens discussions on the agenda,
Minus the fees.
minus the fees.
oh, okay,
Well, I think actually in general with
Okay.
everything,
okay,
make a
Okay.
motion to change it, to leave it on there and add whatever else that comes,
Modify it, okay.
yeah.
We have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Discussion,
Eddie,
or should we vote on it?
Yeah.
Okay, vote, Eddie?
Aye.
Toby?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Discussion?
Can I say something?
Yeah, hold on. Mark's gotta talk first.
I
I don't have anything to add to it, because I know we're gonna talk about it next month as far as
fees.
fees, so.
Okay.
That's where I was. I think we had already decided that we were gonna allow people to renew.
Yep,
Correct.
and we did that.
We did, but I have a clarifying question for you guys,
Yep.
because I might have made an error and I want to make sure. When we talked about letting people reserve it November 2nd right away, I think it was you, Caleb, but I could be wrong. I thought you said something like, people have put so much effort and work into it. You talked about plot 4 and 5, how he puts stuff down.
Mhm.
And I thought the understanding was that if they reserve it, they can keep their stuff
I
there as
think-
is.
I think they
Which
should be
makes
able
sense.
to.
I just don't know if I was right or wrong, and I
Yeah.
don't want to be wrong and be
No,
sharing.
I
wrong
mean, I think
information.
if they're using some type of particular method, if they're gonna
Yeah.
book ahead, I mean, if they're gonna
They
take
should
it for
be
the
able to
next
keep
year,
their
they should,
spot.
yeah, they should
Okay.
have to take.
Do we have
That's
the
what I
rules
thought, but I just
somewhere
wanted
for
to
the
be
community
We do,
garden?
it was
Yeah.
handed out at
I-
some point.
They were handed out, but I do have another
Can't
copy.
find it up in, the Massimo stuff, but honestly,
Hey, listen, I dropped my folder last time and I tripped over the thing out there. Here's, I just wanna add this.
because I wanna look, we should also, when we're going over the fees and stuff, we should look at what's it say about cleaning it up afterwards.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of, yeah,
Well, it's
and
in
I,
there.
it is in there.
It says if you don't, you lose your deposit.
Who, can I ask you a
I think
question?
I'm the same.
On the community gardens,
I can't-
at the end of the year, when and the gardening season is done, they are supposed to clean up their areas, like if they got cardboard down or whatever type of deal. Who enforces that gets done?
So typically it's Public Works, and
Okay.
I'm only gonna speak for the last year, because that's really the only time frame I know
Right.
about. So like this year, I think it was middle or beginning of October, I sent everybody a letter, hey, remind you, you have to clean up this time, da da da.
Okay,
So then October 31st was the last day they could have everything there. November 1st, the Public Works Director went out there, looked at them all, and he said that they all looked fine. So my understanding is that Public Works makes that decision. They went out there, they looked at them. He took pictures of them all, and I was gonna have you guys look at them and just make sure that to you guys, that all looked good. Caleb's gonna pass those around, there's plot 1 through 10. So that's my understanding. And then as of November 2nd, people were able to come back in. So like plot 4 and 5, for instance.
Here's-
He
yeah,
had
4.
cardboard down.
And he's got like
And
some
My understanding
materials.
is that he didn't have to pick that up if he's gonna reserve it for next year.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
sure,
secured, it's not, I mean, if it was a mess.
but that was something I wanted to readdress with you guys
Here, I'll
to make
let-
sure that that's
Yeah,
accurate.
What about the corn? Is that something?
I'd like to talk about that.
So he left with the
Yep.
corn, and he has, he did re-rent it,
Mhm.
but again, that's something that I wanted to address with you guys to see what your
Okay,
thoughts
here.
are about that.
I don't, my deal is, gardening is not my strength, I don't know much about it. But my deal is, if you don't clean up your garden and get it back to where you had it in the spring, even though you put all the effort into it, like cardboard or newspaper or whatever, is that like a bug heaven for the spring hatch?
Yes.
Hold on, April, I'm asking the commissioners. Does anybody
I mean,
know?
I think it depends on what it
I
is.
don't
I mean,
know.
like, when he did the row in 4 and 5, he's got the row,
I would think if
Fabric
there's
in.
garbage there would be kind of a bug haven.
but that, I mean,
I
some
would-
of that is something that takes
Just with
multiple
common
seasons
sense anyways, with, you know,
to control.
you leave garbage there, it's gonna, and it, over the winter, it gets.
But what do you mean by
frozen.
garbage?
It's frozen wet.
I just
Well,
think you
ju-
should,
Or not necessarily, but any type of material that's biodegradable.
plastic, cardboard, right?
Well, once it unthaws, it'll start to rot because it's been wet the whole time. And that's gonna attract bugs.
Well, that's part of the gardening process though, is compost.
It
I
might
mean,
be
compost and things like that. I mean,
Could be.
cardboard is used to choke out grass in areas you don't want grass in, where it becomes part of
Has
the
anybody been
soil.
out, has anybody been out there at all lately to
No,
take a look
that's-
at it, other than Dan?
I had one of our other Public Works guys go out there and specifically look at 2 plots. I know April was concerned about bugs. I don't know anything about gardening.
Yeah.
So I asked one of our other guys, I said, Dan's not here, he said it was fine. Can you go take a deeper look and let me know if there's anything out there?
Okay.
He said there wasn't. He said he thought it looked fine. April did express that at this point in the season, those bugs would be gone, but they will come back because of that stuff was being left. So when we had our conversation, I just said, at this point, I'm just enforcing what our last conversation was.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's 100% up to you guys what your guys' thoughts are.
Okay, so I'm gonna give April an opportunity to talk now. So April, would you like to put your input in?
Yes.
Okay.
There are squash bugs that took out not only the garden that they came from, but another garden lost a lot of product because of it. I have pictures of them. You're not gonna find bugs in October like this. And
Can we see those
so,
pictures?
absolutely.
Can we pass your phone around?
Do they-
How many,
That's his garden
okay, start there.
now.
Is that this guy?
Yep,
Yep.
that's my dog's ear, sorry. Those are the bugs right there.
Different kind of bugs.
Yep.
Oh,
Those
What
are the
month was
But
squash
they
bugs.
they come
These are plant
flying
bugs.
insects.
Yep.
Yep.
So-
what month was that?
I don't know that you can say
I
that
did
it's
ask
someone
2 other
leaving.
people in the
Well, so-
garden, and they said they did not have any
They have
issues.
a
The corn
6 to 8
stalks
months.
though, are those supposed to be completely, because when they harvest the corn fields, obviously they're using bigger equipment.
Sure,
And it's on a bigger scale.
Oh, I know what squash bugs look like. I
There's
mean,
2 different
Are they-
kinds.
is he supposed to take those corn stalks down?
Well, that's what that was kind of the question, right? When we said he could reserve it for the next year.
so
I
it's
would
more,
think-
He has
it's
to
more
get rid of them
rotting,
or not.
rotting plant
Plant
material that is.
This is just my opinion.
That's the only
I-
thing
I
that I'm
think
concerned about.
You
is
need to
the
get it back to
material,
how you
because
found
it's
it. I mean, if it's
harvesting.
back to the basics, back to the soil, you know what? I mean, when you rent those things out and you put all that effort into it and everything, you gotta put it back how you found it. So in case you don't rent it the following year, it's ready to go for that next person.
But we're talking about the people that are re-renting.
That
I
already have.
understand, but I think, my opinion, again, is just get it back to where it's gotta get back to.
Right.
Okay,
But now if you
And that's
look
just
at-
my opinion.
If you look at 4 and 5, I'm guessing he'd like to keep his that way, and there's no plant
Look up
material.
plant bugs too.
You know what I mean? It's that material that you put down to
It's
block
weed
weeds.
blocker,
Weed
yeah.
blocker.
Yeah, that's, but the,
But that's not
Harmful.
Right.
bug attracting.
Right.
So
Right.
I would say that your crops need to
Yeah, I don't
be
know
fully removed.
where to go with that.
Sorry.
I would say the
There's a whole
crops need to
bunch
be
of them,
fully removed.
But when you look
removed,
at
Yeah.
how,
including
why-
the
where they
corn
nest,
stalk.
They're bugs.
it's always in the plant debris
Do you know what I mean?
for the next year.
Okay, so,
I would say that the crops do need to be fully removed, including the corn stalk. I mean, I think that's,
and if you got barriers, that's for erosion,
Yeah, I
and
mean-
allow water to go in.
I mean, the weed block and stuff like that is not really,
So what about
nuisance.
someone who's composting on their site, on their,
Do we allow it?
They don't compost on their site down
No.
there, none of them do.
okay.
Do we allow
Todd is the garden that has the plastic in it. He's been out there for over 5 years. He had the biggest crop this year. The plastic is not a problem.
No.
He uses it for weed block.
no, that looks like
He
that regular ground
fertilizes.
material that,
He supplements his garden.
So I think,
It's just, I would like the debris cleared off.
so
That's
I
it.
think
And
That's fair.
you were fine in your clarity
okay.
and what information you put out. I just think that we need to be a little bit more clear, probably put in the rules, like clean out your crops.
It's in the
So
rule.
we could say that it would be more of if you reserve, regardless of whether you reserve it or not for the next year, crops need to be removed,
Right.
but you can leave any kind of weed barrier and
I'd
things
like
like
to see
that
that.
for the next
So we
year
can
if
If
you
you're
are
reserving.
reserving.
If you're re-reserving it.
Okay, that's what you guys are.
But I would, because I would say by looking at this, that the two here with,
so,
The
So I-
man has an amazing garden. He knows how to grow corn. It is.
9 and 10,
Yeah,
Yep,
9 and 10, I mean, I do think you need to remove the corn stalks.
it
So-
also brings in deer, which cross 12 and get hit.
so I will
Hold on.
update those bylaws
Okay.
for that, with that verbiage.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna send it out to you guys and
Okay.
make sure that it's worded the way that you guys are comfortable with it.
I mean, it literally says, gardeners must remove all materials and completely clear plot of any vegetation growth.
So it is in there.
So
It is in there, and the reason that it was a little bit gray was because when we talked about them
We were
re-renting it, it was like,
Oh,
well, we
okay.
talked about them being able to leave some things, but maybe not
Right.
everything, and so I wanted to get some better clarity from you guys.
Yeah, I would
About
say,
that.
I would say the vegetation has to go.
Okay.
I agree.
So, let's,
And if they ask, I mean, if
I'll
somebody
make
does
a-
ask
I'll
why,
make a
we'll say
motion.
it's a pest.
easy, yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
pest issue.
It's a pest
a
issue.
motion to, at the end of the year, clear your crops.
Whether
Or not you are re-renting.
Of vegetation.
Yeah.
Of
That's
vegetation,
supposed
of vegetation, just for, in case.
Even if you're re-renting it, you need
Well,
to.
But even if, yeah, okay, even if you're re-renting or not.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
get back to the basics.
go. I would actually go as far as to say we're not going to re-rent to you if you will not.
Well, that's what it says in here.
Mhm.
Or $100 cash deposit will
Right.
not be refunded and the gardener will no longer be able to rent the plot. Is exactly what it says.
Which it has not been at this point. That has not been refunded at this point yet, anyway, for those particular
okay.
lots.
Right.
So we just let them know that with the corn, you need to take that down or you're not gonna get your funds back.
Okay,
Yeah.
Eddie made a motion?
Will he have to put a new deposit for the next year? Because he's been gardening for a very long time out there.
Hold on,
If the
April,
city-
hold on.
That's a good question. If they're re-renting early, are you just keeping their deposit? You're not issuing it and having them?
We don't issue it and give, we
No,
don't.
if they're,
If they're re-renting, yeah,
so if he doesn't clear that,
Can we vote on the motion first?
yeah, I think that's what we should,
Yeah.
that's what.
All right,
You made the
so
motion.
we're just
I made the
motion,
motion.
we're motioning to keep it the
we have
same.
a second on that.
Well, to remove, what do we go with?
What are we,
remove-
what are we doing though? Because that's what it says.
It
So what
already
do we-
says it.
I mean, to remove, it does it already?
It
Yeah,
does,
yes.
just with the
You
caveat
can-
that they can leave the
It's right there at the
read,
bottom.
because that's
We need
not
to, what we need to
section.
do is add the caveat that they can,
Whether-
they can leave.
Whether or not they're renting or not, the following year.
It says vegetation growth. Maybe do we add something that says that, I mean, do we even need to add anything about weed barrier stuff?
I think we
mean,
should, so it's not like, well, why can he and this person
Yeah.
Okay.
can't. I think that there should just be some clarity
So
that,
like non-biological.
No, it's on there.
Any vegetation, but, so what they're saying is we need to add, because it says all
Weed
materials.
control materials,
It does say-
whether it's cardboard
It
or.
does currently say.
I would say all materials to
and that's what
include,
I'm saying, it
I
says
get what
all
you're saying.
materials, so we need to clarify that.
So we need to separate that to get rid of all materials. So
Okay.
really what it needs to say is it needs to say gardeners must remove and completely clear plot of any vegetation growth.
Yes. That's what I, did I
That,
say
yes.
that?
instead of the materials,
Yeah,
With the exception of the materials, if they're, that are
Weed
not hazardous,
Or weed control
yeah,
materials.
or that are not hazardous to,
well, how specific?
Yeah,
you
then
gotta
we're
get
gonna
with
get
that?
people that are gonna.
I would say
argue.
just to keep it simple.
There's screen and pencils in one of the gardens currently that was okay. So you really should think
Yeah.
about how you're gonna write it. I know that Delano, Buffalo, many towns around have rules for the garden, and maybe you want to look at those before, just so you don't make one this week and 3 next week, or, you know.
Write it up like how we suggested, and then we're not gonna vote on it anyway until December. In the meantime, we can do a little research.
Yeah, that's fair, because
Is that fair?
So maybe we just don't vote on it.
So the caveat that Christie said, let's add it to it, right? And then in the meantime, I'll see if I can stop at Delano and see if I can see what's going on over there.
Sure.
Look out to the other communities, but to change this whole document, I think is pretty sound. I was gonna ask about, fees, we're gonna keep those, did
The fees are gonna go up.
yeah.
do
I
we,
think that information
do we
is
want,
I have it on the December one, the
Oh, even
number.
with-
okay,
even with the fees, do we want to make it a requirement so these, maybe the issue gets resolved a little bit of having them put $100 deposit on there every year, whether re-renting or not?
I think that just makes more work for the city if
yeah,
they're
it's the
renting.
same $100.
Why are you gonna give it back to them and have them give it back to you again?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably
It's
just more
It's just
paperwork.
an,
Right.
you know,
Well,
but
I mean-
if that's the case, to make it better, then maybe it's something that should be looked at.
I mean, I think that maybe
Because
this is
then that-
just a
because
single
if-
incident.
Well, because if something happens, you take that $100 away and they don't get it back,
Well, they don't get to rent again then though.
and you still get $100.
Then you keep the $100. So, I
But
mean,
that, it's, just as a.
There's a penalty clause, in fact, there's a penalty clause there that encourages everybody to get their stuff cleaned up.
yeah.
So I think you just kind of leave it at that. I mean, you gotta keep in mind now, we're a commission, we're not an enforcement arm.
No,
Right.
but
And I think the goal is
That-
that we're
that
trying to
extra
keep it not
$100.
loose, but we want, I mean, it is for the
We wanna-
community, we're
Yeah,
trying to
we wanna encourage
be,
people.
yeah, we're trying to encourage people,
Yeah,
but
we
at the
don't wanna
same
drive people
time,
away.
you don't want to fall apart, you don't want to be dirty, you don't want to
Right.
be, you know what I mean? So it's
Right.
like, if we need to.
and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you make that, so you've got it, whether or not you get it back or not, is the decision at the end of the year. But every year they should have to pay, and I think that would also help, you know, whether. or
But if
you're redoing-
but if on November 1st, we inspect it, and November 2nd, I give you your deposit back, and then November 2nd, you re-rent it with that same deposit. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean, like, it's maybe just
But
a
who's
more
paperwork.
paper?
Who, well, we don't necessarily have to, we can move the other date, you have to have it by the first of the year. The end date is this date,
Sure.
and in order,
But then you don't know who's re-renting.
they can sit, that's what the letters go, that's why she sends out letters to see if they're gonna re-rent it or not, right? And then that gives it the time you give the renters that were there the previous year,
Go for burgers?
the renters from the previous year get first choice.
Yes, they do. Yep.
So I know, that's what I'm saying, so you say everything has to be done by this time, you'll get your $100 back. Come the deadline for the next sign up is the first of the year, which gives you the month and a half, 2 months to decide and whether they're allowed to come back or not. Instead of, the end of the year is October, let's say October 31st, and the next day to renew it is November 1st. That's not much time for somebody to go out there and check it to make sure everything was covered in here. You know what I'm saying?
That part I understand.
And that's what, so they'll get their deposit back at the end of the year and then if they choose to rent that, they would have to pay again at the beginning of the year, by that beginning of the year, once all that is clear.
So you're saying you want a lapse of time, but give them enough time to get the stuff cleared out, get their deposit back, and then whatever, 60, 90 days later,
To-
when
and
they
to
want to
make-
reapply.
Well, yeah, to make sure that this doesn't, bugs and stuff doesn't, and there's the parks, whoever goes and checks
Sure,
it,
Public Works.
has more than a day to go out and check it. They have a little bit more space to make sure, and put a little more time into it and saying, oh, I took a picture, and come back.
And I don't disagree with you if they need more time. I think the thing that we need to think through is how that's gonna play out, like, let's just say spot 4 and 5, right? We're telling him he can leave that stuff, but the only way we're gonna tell him he can leave it is if we know he's gonna rent it right away.
Right.
If he's not gonna rent it right away, then he's
Right.
gotta take it out. So if those don't have it almost simultaneous, that won't work. So I think what we probably need to do is have Public Works be a little bit more engaged and walk through there, and maybe we take those bylaws, we write up a checklist, and they need to go through and be like this, so there's some accountability.
And maybe it
I
needs to
look at
happen
the-
on a certain day. Like
Right,
this
right.
needs to get done on this day.
On this
every
day.
year.
And this
Yeah.
year I was very much, like I said, a thing, I was like, this day we're doing this, Danny, I want you to go out this day.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to come up with more of a better system or our expectation for Public Works, because I think it's hard to say, you can rent it, like, you have to take your stuff out, or you don't, if you rent it or you're not, right? That almost has to
But
happen
are they
together.
also taking water from the city too, though?
What do you mean?
How are they watering their plants? Are they bringing it?
There's a water fee.
Yeah,
That's what the
Yeah.
fee covers.
That's
And
already
that's what their
there.
fee covers.
Not the deposit, the fee.
So they pay
Which
a
is different
deposit,
than
and
the
then they
deposit.
also pay a
They pay
fee.
$20 fee.
Okay, maybe they can, so that fee, how do I explain that?
Public
$20
Works is
fee,
out of
they
the
can
government
pay-
pay because of the lift station. So they always come out to the
Sure.
building.
Yeah,
So it's not out of their way
Yeah,
to
right.
just
Okay,
go
they can
over
pay
and
their
see
20
if the corn
okay.
is down.
and just
Now
really
that
get
I-
engaged and make sure that it that it's presentable.
So maybe when they give their $20 fee or something, along the lines of what I was saying, if they say they're gonna rent it,
Mhm.
they can keep we'll keep the deposit, but they reserve it with their $20. But if it's, when we go out or whoever goes out to inspect, it doesn't add up, then they get everything back at the end of the year, and they can't rent that.
Well, that's probably what it is now, right?
Or is
Yeah.
that,
Be
am
now.
I-
That's very similar to what it is now. Like, so this year, I think 1, 2, 3, for sure 3 people took their same spots back. So I kept their $100 deposit, and I didn't have anybody pay yet the fee because I knew you guys were gonna be changing them, so I kind of explained to them, the fees are going up, and, and everybody was fine with that, they're like, okay, so I said, you will be getting an invoice per se,
Okay,
once we
I
decide
just-
on that.
Right, it seems to
I
me-
worded it different than.
No, but I understand what you're saying,
Right, it seems to
100%.
me a couple of meetings ago, Michelle brought up something about allowing people to keep that same garden, and then that you sent out a letter,
Yep.
right? So that sounds like that was pretty successful then.
Yeah, and I think that what you guys are saying makes sense. Yeah, I think that's.
I think we should
makes sense.
try to.
We
come
want
up
to
with-
keep them. I mean, unless
Yeah.
they're really causing
Right.
trouble, we don't want
Right.
to try to, nitpick them out where they're like, I'm not doing this.
I like the idea of a simple checklist.
Yeah.
Give the public
Yeah.
word.
And maybe that would help, so then it's kind of like, hey. like,
This is what we want you to
checked
look
this,
at,
this is-
right.
Right, like this is
Not
important.
just, do you think it looks okay? Right.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's fair.
Does it, what about, like if somebody, a certain plot has a bug problem, what about pesticides in there? Do they put their on there, or how did? I
I'm,
didn't see
I'm
that.
pretty
There's
sure that
nothing
it
in
says
there
that you cannot have
I didn't see
pesticides.
nothing in there
there's
on
not.
pesticide, because that can also mess with somebody else's crop
There,
too.
there is something in there that talks about
I didn't-
pesticides.
There is.
Is there? I didn't see it, I must.
Let's see, weed control.
Here comes one guy, not performing.
Okay, there is, I do see one thing that is under safety and courtesy, it says landscape fabric is prohibited, which is what we're allowing him to keep, so maybe we need to think about changing that.
He has plastic currently.
Is that what it is?
It is, it's not landscape fabric,
Is
it's
that-
plastic.
Well, it says
Odd,
landscape
right.
fabric,
Odd tag.
comma,
Yeah, Brett
plastic.
doesn't
Yeah.
have any of that.
It says plastic right
I
after
know.
that, so.
And
It
it
does
was
say
new.
Maybe we don't
gardens
prohibit
should
that.
be inspected weekly.
Weekly.
That was
Maybe
the
we
first time
To
he's
ensure
had that
compliance.
garden for over 5 years, and that was just a new way of trying to
Yeah,
grow his crop.
exactly. I don't know
this
that we need to prohibit that. I mean, if they're gonna clean it out and
year. He
maintain
had a
it.
huge
There's
garden,
nothing
and
in
he
here on
did
pesticides.
keep up with
No,
it.
and I think that's something we need to ask the city attorney, you know, about, because I don't think we can direct, or, you know what I'm saying, about pesticides and stuff.
We can't tell them that they
No,
have
we
to,
can't
no,
tell
I can
them,
tell you
you know,
that. I
especially
don't, I don't know if we
I
tell
thought
them
it said
they
that they
can't.
couldn't.
I
I don't see it in here. Maybe I'm missing it.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you do need to treat with neem to kill the bugs that,
Sure.
Well, and neem is not really a,
no, it's
All
not
it,
a
all,
chemical
all it says
pesticide,
is
it's
mixing
oil.
or storing of chemicals at the garden is prohibited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
You can't store it.
oh, there it is, insecticides.
do not use,
There it is.
oh, that will affect other plots. It says, do not use fertilizers, insecticides, or weed
There,
repellents
okay.
that will in any way affect other plots or negatively affect the plot for future use.
I missed that part.
Do not use fertilizers, okay, so right there. All right, so I think,
So do you want me to add, Kayla, in that part where it says plastic or nets or whatever it says,
Plastic, newspaper, landscape fabric.
and say unless re-renting for the next year? Unless
Well, I mean,
you
this
can
says that they
say,
can't even use it while they're there,
Okay,
so I think we
so-
should remove that. I don't think
No, unless it's harmful to other plots, or is prohibited
if,
when harmful to other plots.
okay? I mean, what's it for you guys?
I mean, I would think that would be an obvious thing, but it's, we can put it on
where
there.
were you looking at?
These days, you never know.
To the part where you can't use plastics or nets.
We're just gonna add a little bit, a few more details.
Maybe we just put if maintained within your plot,
Well,
where it's not overhanging, it's not, I mean, I don't know how landscape fabric would really inhibit another plot if it's not on it,
shouldn't, but.
right?
It
So
shouldn't,
maybe we just
but
take it out.
I thought you should just take it out.
I mean, if you guys are okay with it and you can't see a reason that it's gonna be harmful to the
Well, you
area,
gotta
maybe
put-
we just take it out.
what you gotta include in there, like, is out there, plastics, you gotta word it right. So, as long as it's not harmful to any other
Harmful or disruptive
to any other
to
plots
any other
around
plot.
Well, I would think there's probably a note about being,
you. If we're gonna reword it, you kinda gotta, because if it's actual plastic, that can be,
It's gotta be biodegradable. Let me do this, let me search out some of the communities, see what they got for garden rules, and then we'll come back and discuss it in December.
The gentleman from Buffalo that does theirs is
Yeah.
gonna be calling me back on Tuesday.
Okay.
Maybe I will route him to call you and you guys can chat.
Sure.
Okay.
Perfect.
Or if not, set up a, what's the word I'm looking for?
Little phone call. or
Yeah,
little-
like,
okay.
if you- yeah, because I think I'd like to have you be on it
Okay.
also.
Conference call.
They just, I think they have a good system and obviously they're bigger than us, so it'd just be interesting to see like how that process is. And he was also gonna share with me how to get, like, how do they get new people in there and kind of all
It's
of
a
that.
good idea. Reference all, anybody else want to participate in that, be part of that call?
yeah, when is that?
When he's
We'll
supposed
set it
to
up.
call me on Tuesday,
When's
when he
best in
does,
the-
I'll send it
in
out
the
to you
evenings
guys,
best?
and you guys can let me know when a good
on
time is.
Tuesday, I
Okay.
would not be able to be on that call, I don't think.
It'd be nice if we all participated on that call, maybe in the evening, Will could do that.
Well, I think you try to find a date and
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah,
works.
so-
See
yeah.
what works.
So come
maybe-
back in December
Maybe if you
then.
guys are gonna discuss in December, maybe you can invite them to the December meeting.
I was
Yeah,
just gonna
there you go.
say, maybe
Yeah.
it'd be better to,
Maybe have Christie invite him to the meeting.
There you go.
because a lot of us on one call is gonna
Okay.
get confused.
Sounds good.
Yes, agreed.
Let's all keep talking over each
I've
other.
been on those calls, it's a lot of fun.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you
Okay.
guys for the
Okay.
clarity. It's really appreciated.
Yeah, just
Kayla's
ask
got dollar amounts, if we wanna do that now, or you want to do it next month, you said?
Michelle requested that we
Okay.
do when she's present too, so I figured that could wait.
On the
until
financial side?
Plus we had already,
Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
So,
April, did you get a chance to say everything you had to say as far as?
I'm just wondering, how is the garden gonna go now? Because the crops are still there, they've got the bugs in them now. Compost closes November 12th, right?
Mhm.
And I want him to have the opportunity to get it out.
I'll communicate
Um,
with him and we will make the compost available to him if he needs it after that
Okay.
date to help him get that cleaned
Yeah,
out.
because he's
For
a
sure.
great gardener, he's,
He's a
Yeah.
nice guy, but
He is.
it's fair, and so
But it's
we
just
can
the
make that
bugs.
available to him at a later date if he needs it to help him
That's,
get
I
it
like
out.
that. That,
All right, so
that
you're
works for
good?
everybody.
You good, April?
Mhm.
All right, thank you for coming and participating.
Yes, thank you for your input.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And we're looking at, you know, forming an alliance with you on that park over there as we grow that, so I'll be reaching out to you. New business, Park and Rec Commission Financial Report, so we're gonna, that's gonna be in December, right?
We can talk about some of this, I mean,
Okay,
I'm trying to remember, we discussed figuring out, what were we talking about spending some money on?
The garbage.
Garbage
Yeah, but the
cans,
garbage
and that's
cans are
where we
gonna-
wanna know how much we actually had in the fund, when we're gonna get allocated any more funds, which we don't know how much it's gonna be yet.
We
because-
don't, but the garbage cans do not come out of the
come out
park.
of the city operating.
Oh.
It comes out of,
Operational funds.
operational
Yes,
funds, so it
yes.
comes out
So we need
separate.
That's
to know
what I
how
thought.
much money we have and how we're gonna spend the money that we do have, because we have to.
well,
use it or lose it.
Yes.
and we
So,
decided,
yeah,
decided
because-
to do a couple things as far as gift cards for the two contests.
We think, yep, that's what
We
we
believe,
we
yeah.
think we
Well,
should do.
we just made a decision for the Halloween.
For Halloween, yes.
If we can talk about that in December here too.
Mhm.
For Christmas?
Yeah.
Do something for Christmas, same as.
Yeah, we can get to that one later, it's not a big deal.
Okay,
But-
what else is underneath the budget?
I
side?
think what I can do with the Halloween gift card though, is I think I can take that out of that random
Existing
gift
one.
card that we have, and you guys can save whatever park money you have, decide in December how you wanna spend it, even if you spend it prematurely
For spring.
for spring. So the Halloween stuff, I can take it out of that gift card, it's just in there, and we can put that to good use that way.
I'm just thinking, how much is on that card?
It's like $50. So I would probably give the winner like a $25 gift card, because we haven't done that in the past, and then we have to also think about that's something that we,
You're setting it up for the future.
right.
Or go 20, 10, and 10.
No.
No, this is just my thought, because I know we got something like $800 or some good thing in there. But did the Boy Scouts get their check yet?
I don't know if Michael sent it to them or not. I did give, Greg gave me the invoice, I gave it to Michael, I asked him to pay it. So I guess I kind of consider it case closed, because I
Okay.
did submit the invoice.
Okay, can you double check to
Yeah.
see, because that's another thing that I was working on, I think that should have been, maybe presented at the city council, for them kind of doing their little shindig out there and stuff, and,
Okay,
you know.
so if he
that's-
hasn't, you want me to hold off on
Yeah.
having him do it?
Yeah.
So do we know how much we have in our account though? That's,
Yes.
Oh, you took
I sent,
50 off.
and I sent that to you guys, I thought
Yeah,
you
that
did
was
it
the
today.
amount we did.
So the balance is $829.68.
Correct.
oh,
So my thought is on the Halloween,
Christmas?
well, on Christmas, I think they should be kind of identical, but I think if you're
Agreed.
choosing a winner, you want to do more than $25.
Okay, one thing I will say,
Yeah.
because I had this happen at a place I worked at that never gave away gift cards. One Christmas out of the blue, the GM there gave everybody a $50, I don't even remember what it was, maybe $50 gift card. It was Sour Apple City next Christmas when no gift cards were handed out. You are
Right.
setting up for
That
failure in the future.
If you don't at least meet what you gave before.
And the
Yes.
people from the years before, oh, we didn't get that, you know what I mean, and you, I don't know.
I want to encourage people to participate because I think it's great. I mean, for any decorating contest we have.
And they do, that's the
They
nice
do.
thing is, they do.
I like the idea of moving it to where we're presenting at city council or at a park and rec, whatever's going, whichever way we decide to present it. I don't think we need to incentivize it. And I only say that because you're setting up future issues.
Not if we don't, well, that we plan it in our budget.
Yeah, but 2 years from now, who's here and they're
Yeah, well,
stuck,
like you said,
Yeah.
to his point,
Well,
the
and like-
commission changes, members have changed,
and they're
they
stuck
don't do
holding
that
to that.
anymore.
And Christy said, what about people from last year? They're like, oh, this year they got money.
Could we do, okay, so let's discuss alternatives then. So you got the gift card, you said there's money on it, so you're saying we really don't wanna do that, right?
No, what I'm saying is I don't wanna take money out of budget.
If it's not.
And actually, if you think about it that way, taking a gift card that you currently have causes the same issue,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
if I'm being fair about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
So right now, they get their name on a plaque, it's
Mhm.
recognized at City Hall, what else do they get?
They get a little award.
Like, there's a
Little
plaque?
It's a
is
little
it
trophy, yeah, it's like a
Okay,
little trophy.
okay.
Um,
Why don't we do, could they do like a certificate of appreciation or a
Yeah.
letter of whatever, just kind of recognize them and then something with like a city logo on,
Sure,
signed by the mayor or the council or
Sure.
something?
yeah.
That
We
make
can
any
something
sense?
up like that,
For,
yeah.
for second or third runner
That's
up?
easy to do.
I mean, that sounds
You good with that?
Yeah.
So you want that for second and third?
Yes.
Okay. Yep,
I'm gonna add this card.
The trophy for the plaque.
Trophies and a plaque for the first place, at least recognize their, their commitment of
But so-
decorating.
So
Yeah,
second and third
Second.
again.
yeah, second and third.
So
again.
did we make was there a motion made to give them the?
I don't know, do we need a motion on
No,
that?
he was just gonna talk to city council and make.
No,
sure
no,
that-
I'm asking if, I know we talked about it before, but was there a motion made? I don't
No,
remember.
we never made
No,
it. We were gonna
no.
wait till the.
I'll bring it in front of
Just
city
we would have to
council and
change
say,
that.
this is our recommendation, we're gonna stick with, do the plaque, this has happened in the past, and we'd like to, come up with a couple other ideas for second or third place. You can get a letter of appreciation, a
Yeah.
certificate, award, or something for
Yeah.
participation, and
Share
then,
something
and
like
have it
that.
signed by the
Facebook.
mayor, and then, present it at city council. I mean, the more people you got coming to the council meeting, the more, they're involved with their city. That's what I'm trying to do, is
it
get
gets
us,
them a little bit more
Yeah,
engaged and,
right.
yep,
right,
Yep.
right. Instead of just strictly business, have a little fun.
yeah. And since we're talking, so I'm just gonna reiterate, so with that gift card, I think it's either 50 or 75, I am gonna take $20 off of it. And we get two $10 gift certificates for the two winners for the contest in the newsletter.
Oh,
Yes.
So just so you guys are aware
Okay.
of that,
that's-
it's kind of a recreation type of thing, and so that's gonna come off of that gift card.
Okay.
What's the contest, what are we talking?
There was a contest in the newsletter, so if you followed it all year, there was kind of a theme.
Oh,
And so people had
Yeah, I
called
saw
in and
that.
said, oh, I know
Okay.
the answer to it.
Right.
Only two people got it right, and so, we had talked about where could that money come out of, and we figured this is a recreation fund, that's recreation, we're gonna take it off that gift card.
completely fair.
But
right,
they'll still
so
leave a
Would
little
we
money
have
on
to
it.
vote on that too then, or no?
No.
It's an existing gift card.
Yeah, it's been in that,
Okay.
it's been in there
If we're
forever.
going back to this financial report,
So $829.
right, so take a little time between now and next meeting, unless we can do it now, come up with some ideas on how we want to spend those monies.
I would say
Be it whatever, be it in the future for Easter or whatever, but come up with some ideas
We
so
have
we
to
can
spend
try to
by-
get down to zero balance
Yeah,
by
I think so.
December.
And
By
then
January 1st, has to be spent.
get us a inventory on stuff we already have that
For,
Parks.
for for
Park
the
equipment or
events
events
and
or
stuff too.
Are there
Um,
things that we need?
Yeah.
I mean, I think about the 4 events that you guys do, it's the
Christmas,
Christmas,
Halloween,
Halloween,
Easter.
Easter, and then a summer event, however you guys shape that out. So Easter, I would say, is pretty good. Last year, we bought all new eggs, and that's really the expense, right? Is that, we
Right.
could,
Is there candy in those eggs?
we have to buy the candy, so that's even something, we could go take some of this money and get a $300 gift card to Walmart. So
Right.
next year, that goes towards
For
the
candy.
candy purchase.
Right.
We could do some
Good
things like
idea.
that, so it's
Yep.
spent early, so we have it.
Right,
But for Easter, I think other than the candy, that's really the only thing that we need to rebuy, because we did just rebuy new eggs.
Yeah, because
There's no decorations
you
or
don't want to
anything
leave
like
candy
that that
sitting
we
around
do
for
need.
that long.
No.
Oh,
No,
not here.
no.
Around here. Candy pop.
No.
so come
Clearance.
prepared about at least some ideas on
I do
how
like that idea.
we want to get that down to zero balance.
Mhm.
So
Right.
challenge each of you to come up with some good ideas. be prepared to discuss it. You can add that to the agenda then?
Yep, I sure can.
Appreciate it. Any other business we need to discuss?
I believe so.
Okay, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Nope.
Oh, we got a next
Set
meeting,
next meeting.
next meeting. Yes.
This is not on the agenda, but, and we're not gonna talk about it, but I'm just letting you know that, when is our meeting in December? The 10th?
It would be the
No, that's
eighth.
that's a Saturday.
Oh. I
It
can't-
is the
The
8th.
the 8th.
Justin is going to come from Bolton and Mank. He's gonna have the boring samples back and he'll talk to us about that. But just an update on that.
Oh, that's right. I have a band concert for my son that night.
Don't worry. I also have a Eden Prairie hockey tournament, but I don't know when we're playing, so.
So we wanna move that to a different date, being we got a conflict?
What's the following week?
Well, I don't know.
We can't do Thursday the following week,
Yeah.
What
because
about-
Michelle has, the community meal that Thursday.
What
So I
about
think
the
we should not do
1st
that.
of December? The week before that?
I am personally open.
You're open?
I'm personally open.
You wanna do it the first meeting, everybody's out? Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get maximum participation from us, so that's why.
Yeah, I
can do
definitely don't wanna miss.
I can do the
We've got a lot
first
of stuff to do.
So I'll make a motion to move December's meeting to December
the-
1st.
From the 8th to the 1st,
Yeah, from the 8th to the 1st.
same time?
Same
bad
time.
channel.
Yep. same
Toby,
time.
same time? Anything you might wanna add to the group?
On that day, agenda, we probably, well, let's get that one done first. and then-
What's Toby gotta share?
So,
Too soon, do you wanna wait?
well, I just don't know what's gonna happen.
Okay, so let's do 6:30 for now.
Yeah, we'll do 6:30 for now.
Okay. I'll second that motion.
Okay, vote,
I,
Kayla?
Aye.
I say aye also. So we might want to,
then,
Eddie?
can you call, Kayla, can you call Michelle or let her know that?
I absolutely will.
coming up,
And I'll call Justin and just make sure he can make
Okay.
that.
Yeah, we gotta check with that too.
when is the council meeting in December?
It's gonna be the 12th.
So then, at this next meeting, you'll have to request a special meeting.
Do we have to request a change of the date?
For the.
No.
It's not a special
Christmas.
meeting.
No, for the Christmas
Oh, for the
Christmas
Christmas.
judging.
judging.
Yes.
So let's do that now, so that you have that date, so you can ask them next week for December, since, we don't.
Well, do we need to have a
ask
date
them.
of when we're gonna do it yet? Or can we set that on December 1st?
Yeah, you can just ask for a special, an
Just
extra
ask for an
meeting.
extra meeting in December.
Yeah, that'd,
We have to have a date or we can just
Yeah,
ask for an
just
extra
ask
one?
for one, yeah.
Do
And
we wanna,
we
do
have
we
a
wanna
reason for
schedule
it,
that
so.
now too?
Yeah,
I know
what's
it's
that?
early, but
I'd say December 1st.
You
we
think
can
so?
schedule.
Okay. I guess if it's during the week,
decorating.
it's,
Yeah, we can just kind of.
yeah,
And
that's enough
honestly,
time.
they already approved, they approved like 3 or 4 through the end of the year, and you
That's
guys
all
didn't
right.
have one, and you're not gonna have a special one in November. So
No.
I think you probably already
Are they
have.
gonna do
That's
the
our approved
annual lighting
event,
of the
so-
Christmas tree out there next to the pond over there? or
They do
what?
that?
They
Is
do that,
good?
they do like a light, like a, lighting of the tree.
Okay, so we can try to tie something into that.
Yeah, that'd be.
well, with the judging though, would,
Well, we could do, I think they
Those
light a
lights-
tree.
Those lights go on plenty early compared to everybody having all their.
People having their house.
Yeah, I know, I'm
decorated
just
there.
saying, and we can try to do a community event, we can discuss it in December, but try to decide, meet around, soon Chris, Carol, do hot chocolate, do something.
well, maybe
Again,
maybe that's a spot we could use some of our money on, the donate,
Right,
go out and buy the hot
Just-
chocolate for that.
Maybe we could figure out when they're gonna do the light, like do the lights that
Right.
day. Maybe we could coordinate it with that breakfast with Santa day where everybody's kind of doing stuff.
Right.
I know it's gonna be at the
Right.
school this year, but maybe they could light the tree that night and we could get like a food truck to be here with hot chocolate and we could pay for that.
sure,
Or you guys could pay for that.
yep.
What
Good
were you
idea.
thinking, Eddie? Were you thinking something like that or were you thinking something different?
I'd want, just donate at least the hot chocolate at
Yeah.
a minimum.
A cider and hot chocolate.
Yeah, just at a minimum, I mean,
Kind of make it a community festival.
we
event
could
of some sort.
discuss the more details at the December meeting,
Right.
but that's just something,
Right. I like the idea.
I do think that tree lighting happens though, April, do you know, isn't it like December 3rd?
I'd say it's early.
It's really early, so I think it'll be before you guys meet in
Okay.
December, so if you
No,
kind
it
of.
won't, because we're meeting on the
Yeah,
Social tree
2 days
lighting.
is enough
I
time to
know.
take care of.
I just think we can
Every
pick
year,
a,
I think last year.
we can pick
Michelle
another
did it.
date at, you know,
But I
as
think
far as
other
gathering
years,
or
it's
else
just
there
kind
at
of
that
been like,
tree.
something I think the mayor does it, I think sometimes, I think it's been kind of different. I don't know, it's, you know, but, so,
Well, if nothing else, we could always pick another night, and try to do something in
Okay.
the community. So maybe we can add that and discuss that and add it to the agenda.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, do we have any other business? Anything else to discuss? Do I hear a motion
We're
to?
good. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have to
Second.
vote on moving, do we, oh, we already voted on that, never mind. 401. Okay, sorry.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Vote, Eddie?
Aye.
Toby?
Aye.
Caleb?
Aye.
Aye.
At what time is it?
Thank you, everyone.
8:01.